Chapters 14 to 15 of AP World History. Part 1 of Chapter 14. Here we go. Europe and Asian commerce, or the gang deals in spices. When the Portuguese rolled up to India, they found a big boy trader valued at several gigashits, i.e. a whole lot of money, but didn't quite get how it worked. So they just grabbed spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, mace, cloves, and pepper. If that's capitalized, because it's worth the most gigashits. Shit like spice on food, preservatives, and aphrodisiacs. The original Viagra, of course. Silk from China and cotton from India, rhubarb and shiny jewels were also heavily coveted goods. At this moment in time, Europe was just crawling out of the corpse pit that was the Black Death, which was kind of bad. As they were coming back, they decided, fuck it, we tax it now. And all of them just go full-ass tax mode. They also got guns and cannons, you know, just gunpowder shit in general. The cities were getting bigger, the trade was improving, things were looking up. Europe was looking up to mosey into the Eastern market, but it was hard as they were very fancy, so they had to get big shiny metals, like silver. Now, I know what you're thinking. How did they get that silver? Now, we don't need to talk about that now. For now, we're talking about Portugal commerce, or the gang does big boy port trade and also stabs children. This one will be short, just a couple sentences, so let's get into it. Effectively, Portugal goes, fuck this, and stabs the ever-loving shit out of everybody in the Indian Ocean ports, and takes all of the ports, leaving no survivors for a while they held the ports. But when the money went from gigashits to megashits below half of the spice trade, they reevaluated and went, alright, fuck this, we going old school, and did what they had done before and moved goods to Asia, and then they tried to sell that. But unfortunately, the Asians on the coast greatly outnumbered them, and Portugal went from megashits to kilashits. The empire's fucked. As they were out-traded by fucking everyone, they lost their big boy monopoly. Spain and the Philippines, or the gang resorts to peaceful takeovers. When the Spanish found the Philippines, they realized that they could pass an earnings check of several terashits if they took over, which is what they did. They negotiated like good boys and colonized carefully, so little blood was spilled. It also became Jesus Central, as all of the sudden peace led to easy converts. And overall, the place dragged in peeps from all walks of life. The East India Company, or the gang goes anarcho-capitalist. The Dutch and the English were the real players in the spice trade, and they easy-peasy fucked up Portugal's shit. The Dutch were kind of fucking awful and forced spice islands to give spice, or they stabbed the shit out of them, and they also worked with Taiwan to yoinks China. Which backfired, as China said, lol, get the fuck out, asshats, and it became China's rebellious abducted by force son, who is still trying to escape to this day. Oh, that's a typo. Sorry, they worked with China to yoinks Taiwan. My bad. They eventually did a fucky-wucky and underpriced and oversold their spices, making them cost more to make than to sell. British, on the other hand, rolled up to India, took over India's west coast, and they were unable to fuck with the Mughal Empire, meaning they had to do peace trades, it still worked out in their favor. Asia and Asia trade. I'm not doing that one. Fuck that. The silver trade, where the gang commits war crimes and gets really fucking rich. Asia basically decides, fuck it, we want shiny shit as currency, and so it begins. Spanish America, where silver is abundant, mostly in Bolivia. This led to some, actually, no, most traders deal a little bit, probably near exclusively in silver. Potosi, the primary silver mine, went from garbo to hot shit near overnight, all thanks to the miners who, well, how do I say this, were forcefully putting mines often compared to biblical hell. Women, they got rights, that was nice. Spain got a shit ton of silver, which made Europeans salty, but due to the crown kind of being dumbasses, they were unable to use these fat stacks in a way to unfuck their economy. Japan did that, but they did it good. They used the silver they yoinked to unify and unfuck their shit, which really helped them roll up. They kept their forests, unlike Spain, dumbasses, and kept the population low by any means necessary, i.e. literally stabbing children, which, not great, but, well, whatever floats your boat. The fur trade, or the gang commits war crimes in the name of profit. So, when shit got cold, peeps like fur. So two big old groups going on, effectively what we should sell fur. So the animals, first off, let's clarify. The animals got fucked. You know, native animal populations were diminished heavily. But let's start with North America. America got very, very rich with little to no slavery involved, but the environment did suffer. That was bad, but you know, slavery is good. You know, they effectively negotiated with the natives to sell it for cheap, which is good. The natives were allowed, you know, they also got alcohol, but you know, they also didn't get stabbed as soon. They did eventually get stabbed though. Russia though, Russia got fucky. I'm talking native enslavement. I'm talking disease up my ass. I'm talking giga shits for the rich and less than killer shits for the poor. Overall, 2 out of 10. And actually, this actually kind of led to the USSR. This incredible divide between the rich and the poor led to the Soviet uprising, and well, that collapsed shortly afterward, and led to the Russia we all know and look over awkwardly at today. The slave trade, or the gang, makes Geneva look like a fucking joke. Holy shit. Before Africa, slaves were treated as people, albeit ones you owned. Not great, sure, but once Africa rolled up, shit got fucky. Effectively, there was a cycle of colonization and slavery that rolled up and destroyed the once great continent of Africa. Effectively, a legion in Africa wins a war, sells the captives, buys guns, and the cycle continues, eventually leading to Britain occupying South Africa due to just the sheer amount of manpower and loss of stability in the country overall. Slaves themselves were, well, fucked. Not for life, but for entire generations, because their entire lineage was now in a slave system, which I don't need to explain. Chapter 15. Oh my god, this took so long to write. Christians, 1 paragraph, not even worth a title. Christianity spread far after 1500 from Spain to America with knives. To Russia and to Egypt. And, you know, just really everywhere. Western Christian, or the gang commits heresy. Basically, the Catholic Church at this time sucks ass. It's so bad, a dude named Luther shows up and calls them on their shit. He said shit along the lines of, worship God, lol, none of that weird bullshit. This made the Catholic Church shit their collective pants, so they excommunicated him and accidentally fractured their own church. This led to a weakening of the overall area, but wow, more churches. Have fun, I guess? The government also ate shit, but just enough to be good. This was called the Protestant Reformation, and also led to a healthy skepticism of government. This was good. Christianity outward bound, or the gang goes, wee. Christianity went around and bonked the Muslims, because their God was more real, apparently. Missionaries spread the word, and Jesus lovers got good rights, so overall successful campaign. Conversion and adaptation to Spanish America, or the gang forcibly makes you kneel for Jesus. Basically, when the Aztecs and Incas went tits up, so did South America. And really, this led to disease population collapse, slavery, compounds, and just dog shit living. No earnings, zero PR, dog water, freer than a Costco sample, freer than a public restroom. Not good. The shit ton went to Jesus due to culture, wanting rights. Women got screwed though, no rights for them. This hadn't really happened before, and previous conquerors could give 2 shits you worship, so they were a little weirded out, but just like country girls, the South Americans made do. It hurt them good, because the Christians effectively said, fuck your religion, fuck your shit, we'll stab you if you keep it up, so they had to adapt as paganism got royally fucked. So, basically, they put in their religion and it worked. A little side note, not deserving of a section. China got Christianity through trade and almost went Christian until Europe got cocky and went full asshole, i.e., your shit's heresy now. Changes in Afro-Asian culture, or the gang destroys an entire continent's worth of culture. As Africans were enslaved and bought here, they brought their customs, which integrated into their version of Christianity. This is very simple, and effectively, to break it down, as slaves were distributed globally from Africa, that culture was spread globally. You know, shit like voodoo and spirits and all that jazz comes from Africa, and the slaves spreading out around there. Religion 2, or the gang's foe, returns. Effectively, Islam had been up to some shit, and we're going to start with Islam. Basically, they spread their wise, big brain knowledge, and this led to people going, hey, maybe Allah ain't that bad, which was pretty good, but then shit got fucked. Syncretism kicks in, making purists mad. Eventually, drugs and gambling shit got trashed as my boy Abd al-Wahhab rolled up. He gave women rights, but also took the fun shit, like, drugs, gambling, you know, just general vices. Now to China. China rolled up and hit their populace with the new Confucian Redditor moment, where they all became big brain science, man. They proved things and they wanted shit verified. It was kind of nice for entertainment as well for the masses. That's really it. Effectively, they believed in the scientific method before it was cool. They believed in proving things. Some were deists, some were not. India. India does a thing. They got a split similar to Luther, where the Sikhs who believe just worship. This gets them stabbed till they learn to stab back. The Renaissance, or religion is lightly fucked within its record. Basically, science man shit kicked in, and we got a bunch of peeps rebelling against the church. They proved big shit and went full big brain shit with the cosmos and stuff. It happened here mostly because of the universities, areas where you talk and learn big shit. Max earnings. Other places, well, then the reason it didn't happen other places, more importantly, was the law could fuck you. Art got good, science got good. Copernicus, he was big shit. Freud, kinda wanted to fuck his mom. This has been AP World History, chapters 14 to 15, a recap. I wrote this all in one go, and it shows. It's not very comprehensible. I'm sorry. And with that, I bid you adieu.